Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're going to be talking about Notes 1.5, Part 2. All right, so in this one, we're going to talk about, under the information section, we're going to talk about a midpoint. The midpoint is the point that divides a segment into two congruent segments. So here, I need you to mark, I need you to say, or type in mark two congruent segments. Okay, so if we have a picture like this, we're told that M is the midpoint of segment AB. So you don't have to do that part, but just know that M is in the middle of A and B. What that means is that makes it into two congruent segments. So that means that AM is the same measurement as MB. So in this one, you're going to put split AB into two congruent segments. Now, all of this is the definition of midpoint. So remember with when we did mid segments and we split our triangle sides into equal halves, that was actually a segment or a piece of a line. Here we're just talking about the point. So the point M, the singular point M, divides this into two equal segments. Next, we're going to talk about isosceles triangle. An isosceles triangle is a triangle with two congruent sides. So as you can see, this leg is congruent to this leg, or the same size. That's what, remember what the little marks mean. So here, you're going to mark two congruent sides. Okay? So we have an isosceles triangle over here, so we're going to mark this one and this one because we're told that A and B are congruent with B and C. So here you're going to write definition of isosceles triangle. All right, so now let's do a couple of examples. So it says, for the following problems, complete the triangle congruent statement and name the postulate or theorem that justifies the statement. All right, so first of all, we're told that JLM, angle JLM, so JLM is congruent to KML. So that means that this is congruent to this. That's why I'm doing the little arc marks. All right, we're also told that triangle JKM is an isosceles triangle with JM being congruent to KM. All right. So the last thing we want to look at is we want to look and see, do we see a bow tie? No, we don't see a bow tie, so we don't have any vertical angles. We don't have any parallel lines, so we don't have a Z to be alternate interior angles. Now what we do notice is that LM is being shared between both triangles. So remember what that means. That means that it is reflexive. Okay? So that means that this sides congruent because they share it. So now let's mark our angles and sides. Here's a side, here's an angle, and here's a side. So we're going to have SAS. All right, so remember we got to follow the same naming convention since JML. So we go JML. So we're going to do the opposite on the other side. We're going to do KML. And that's going to be go in this box. And then we just said our theorem was SAS, sorry. All right, that completes the first one. The second one, we're told that Q is the midpoint of TS. So this part right here is the midpoint of that. So that means that QT and QS are congruent. And Q is also the midpoint of PR. So that means that this is congruent to this. All right. So then what else can we mark? So let's look at it. Do they share a side? No. Do they form a Z? We're not now, even though we have some lines that look like they're parallel, we're not told they're parallel. Remember, we have to be told things in geometry. We can't assume anything. Lastly, does it look like what I wear on Mondays? Yes, it looks like a bow tie, so that means we have vertical angles, so we're gonna mark that. So we would say vertical angles. And then we're going to name our triangle. So PTQ is RSQ, because remember we got to go in order. So since P was here, T was here, and then Q was here. We gotta go in the opposite direction when we do the other triangle. I'm gonna do boxes for this one. R, S, and then Q. All right, and then let's mark our angles and sides. So let's start on this triangle. Here's a side, here's an angle, and here's a side again. So that means we have side, angle, side. All right, so stay tuned for part 2 when we go over the back side of the sheet and finish up 2 more problems. See you in the next one. Bye.